Hi, I'm Carrie Lewan-Monroe, Executive Vice President of Strategy and Programs at Invest Detroit. We are here in the Livernois-McNichols corridor to introduce you to 4 of our commercial real estate projects that were funded by the Strategic Neighborhood Fund. SNF is a public-private philanthropic partnership that brings strategic and coordinated investment to neighborhoods throughout the city of Detroit. We started SNF in 3 neighborhoods, Livernois-McNichols, Southwest Detroit, and Island View Greater Villages, and we've since expanded into 10 neighborhoods throughout the city. Livernois-McNichols was one of the first SNF neighborhoods, and we chose this area specifically because of the community partners that existed here. We used a series of data points, about 32 different data points, to measure the health and vitality of the neighborhoods to determine where we were going to invest first. And the Livernois-McNichols corridor was really one of those kind of peak neighborhoods that was ready for this type of investment. But all of this work is done with very extensive community engagement so that neighborhood residents have the opportunity to guide and provide input on these neighborhood plans. Now we'd like to introduce you to the developers of the projects on the Livernois-McNichols corridor.
Good morning, I'm Nate Barnes, Vice President of Neighborhoods at Invest Detroit, and this is 7434 West McNichols. This space is going to be a complimentary home base for Live 6 Alliance. They're going to host pop-up retail spaces for neighborhood businesses looking to get their start. As you can see, it's just cinder block right now, but eventually this will be 2 commercial retail bays with basically a facade that comes up to that lintel right there. When you walk in, you'll be able to come right through and weave through the pods for the retail entrepreneurs, but also coming around this space, you'll be able to see a large conference room area. Folks on this side can come over and congregate or hold like larger meetings or like demonstrations for their products or businesses, and then they can flow back through the other side and have their own discrete meeting spaces. We're sort of in phase 1 of core and shell work. As you can see, we don't have a roof, but in a couple of weeks we will. And then after that, we'll start work on the facade. Without the Strategic Neighborhood Fund, this project wouldn't happen. We wouldn't be able to, one, acquire this building and then start to rehab it without the intense level of gap funding necessary to complete a project like this. This building is part of a larger strategy to revitalize just a hyper-focused 3-block area. And that's really gonna come to fruition on this block in particular because we're gonna have that continuous block of redeveloped properties. This project is a big deal for Invest Detroit because it's not something that we normally do. So this is a risk, but we have the capacity and expertise on staff to see the project through, and we're taking that chance and completing it.
I'm Jason Hedden, one half of Spearman's Partners LLC, and welcome to 7400 McNichols. I purchased this building in 2019 with my business partner Chase Cantrell and I. I'm going to take you guys on the inside so you can see all of one of the developments that'll be going on. Really excited about this because it'll bring new vibrant life to the corridor. This will be the first Black-owned brewery in the city of Detroit. And more importantly for me, I grew up in this neighborhood, not too far from here, so being able to invest in this neighborhood, the place that I grew up in, is really important to me. So I guess let's take a look inside. Welcome into the space. I'll give you an overview of the current layout. Once we're done with construction where you're currently standing, this will be a 450 square foot retail space right here in this initial entrance right here. As you look over to your right where there's an open space, we'll be building a mezzanine that'll run down to the end of the space, and then there'll be a back of the house. In the middle here will be the lovely bar. So we'll have the bar here, and then in the back, on that back wall, we'll have a performance space. On the front entrance on 6 Mile, we'll have much more glass and much more windows. There'll be much more vibrancy. We want this to be a totally inviting space for everyone in the neighborhood and the community. Master tenant is 734 Brewing. It's a family-owned organization with a group of folks up in Ypsilanti, Michigan. This will be their 2nd location. We're really excited for what this will mean for the community and the neighborhood. One, being able to provide and create local jobs, but then also for the folks that live in the neighborhood, if they wanted to grab a beer, a bite to eat for dinner, or anything, etc., they can do so. They don't have to go and hop in their car and necessarily go to the suburbs to do it. They'll be able to do it in this neighborhood and the community. SNF dollars, Strategic Neighborhood Fund dollars, extremely important. There's a lot of investment going on in this neighborhood, but without those funds, these deals wouldn't come to fruition. You need those additional dollars to be able to complete these deals, and that's the case in this neighborhood. Hopefully, this stokes some flames to say, hey, we saw those two guys and they actually came from the neighborhood that I grew up in and they made a development happen. This isn't just about dollars and cents, this is about community, this is about people, this is about creating opportunity. So really excited about what's coming in 2022.
SNF has 4 pillars of investment. We focus on public park improvements, streetscape improvements, single-family and multifamily housing, and mixed-use commercial corridor real estate projects. The way that Invest Detroit is involved in the Strategic Neighborhood Fund, we are the fiduciary for the philanthropic dollars of SNF. And what that really means is we use SNF dollars as low-cost capital to fill the gap on these real estate projects to make them come to fruition. All of this work is being done through an equitable lens as well. So the developers that we're choosing for these real estate projects are from the city of Detroit, or hopefully from the neighborhoods in which these projects are located, so that we can help to build the developer base within the city of Detroit. The whole goal of SNF is to spark investment in these neighborhoods, to spark economic development, or become a catalyst for development so that future projects can happen on their own.
I'm George Anamdi, one of the partners at 7303.
Rod Hardiman, CEO of Earth Development Group and one of the partners of 7303 West McNichols. We're really excited about the 7303 West McNichols project. It'll be a total mixed-use building.
We have 38 residential apartments and 4 commercial spaces.
The first floor will be retail commercial space, which will draw in and activate the retail wall in the corridor, as well as we'll have 2 floors of residential space above it. One of the things that's special about our project is that it doesn't stand alone, separate from the community. It's integrated in. We try to focus on, not just being place makers, but being place keepers. We're actually doing an entire block on West McNichols between Monica and Prairie, so it'll revitalize in one fell swoop an entire block. So the signal, the signs of change that it'll provide instantly, I think will be significant not only to the residents who live here, but the businesses who are here and are coming here, as well as all those who are questioning or wondering how successful will the Live 6 project be. This is our perfect sign.
And we hope to have this be able to spur other developments, other building, other commercial projects, just more activity to the area. We want people, when they turn off of Livernois, we want them to say, wow. We want them to say wow about the area. That's one of our mottos too. If you see one of our projects and you don't say wow, then we have failed.
Our community engagement efforts are an integral part of what we do. Now we've probably done, in most of our projects, we do at least a minimum of 12 months of community engagement. So we get to know the communities, they get to know us, they understand our philosophy, and it's based on being consistent. One of the things that we truly believe in is trying to develop mixed communities, mixed income, social demographics, and so all of our projects have a naturally occurring affordable housing component to it. Because of the efforts and support we receive from the SNF neighborhoods and the funds, we were able to develop a project here that's going to be 100% affordable at its launch. But truly, we needed the Strategic Neighborhood Fund to really pull this off, and without them, this wouldn't have been possible.
Hi, my name is Akuna Olumba, and welcome to the Detroit Pizza Bar. We are a community pizza bar, so it's one of the big things that we did with our Strategic Neighborhood Funds is that we did a lot of community outreach, but more importantly, we hired directly from our community. One of the things that was extremely important to us as developers, particularly emerging African American developers, was creating a downtown building in the middle of a neighborhood, and that's what we've done. Now it's time for us to check out the inside. Where I'm standing now will be our main first floor dining area. This entire area will hold about 110 seats. And then we have a wall separator here between here and guess what's on the other side, guys? The bar. Here you will have people sitting on this side on the bar and then 2 tops on this side. Probably the biggest thing about the pizza bar that we're most impressed with is our pizza oven. We've got an Italian-sized pizza oven, but we also will have a convection oven that makes Detroit-style pizza. One good thing that we really pride ourselves in at the Detroit Pizza Bar is something we call our community pizza menu. For the community groups, they fill out an application and they give us a list of toppings. They make their own pizza and they receive proceeds every quarter off the sale of their pizza. It's very important to us that the Pizza Bar gives back. And welcome to the second floor. This space is going to hold 50 people on the inside and 50 people on our outside patio. It was important for us to build an outdoor patio because it's one of the things or one of the themes that you will see in, I think, thriving neighborhoods across the country. A lot of people in the neighborhood really like to stay in their neighborhood. So if we can give them a piece of downtown, which is a nice place where they can come and eat and they can be on the patio, I think all that does is just encourage people, they themselves, to invest in their neighborhood, but also get more community developers to want to invest in those neighborhoods and the commercial thoroughfares themselves. Without the Strategic Neighborhood Fund, this project wouldn't exist. That fund allowed us the flexibility to offer training, to offer more amenities to the individuals in the bar. Without your investment or your belief in something like the Strategic Neighborhood Fund, this entire corridor would not look the way it will look in the next 2 years. So thank you.
Thanks for watching. We hope to see you on the corridor soon.